Speaking of which, let's move on to another saga with the Lakers. As they prepare for their chase for an 18th championship, one of the newest Lakers, Carmelo Anthony, is putting all the pressure on himself, saying it's his most important season and that the expectations are certainly a title. He told the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, quote, "It's going to be like when Team USA lost in 2004. It's going to be that kind of feeling. So we're going to have to get away for a little and if we don't make this thing happen. So I know what's at stake, but that's what makes it fun, though." So, Perk, do you agree with Melo's comparison? If the Lakers lose this season and don't win a championship, that it's that kind of pressure, like the 2004 Olympic team with Wade and LeBron and Carmelo back in 2004?
Absolutely, I agree. I couldn't agree more. There's so much pressure on the Lakers to win the championship. Look, when you have six future Hall of Famers on your team, and don't give me nothing about age, right? Because two of those guys are still in their prime, and Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook, and one of those guys is just not human, and LeBron James. And you pair them up with the other guys that they built around them, a floor general like Rondo. It's nothing but to win a championship, right? And so what Melo is saying is he's actually leaking good information. We all speculations, but now when you come out and you confirm that y'all goal in-house is to win the championship, that's what we want to hear. And I embrace this. I actually love that Melo saying that because he's putting pressure not only on himself to deliver, but he's putting pressure on his teammates to make sure he holds them accountable that the goal at hand is for us to deliver another title to LA.
I would give Melo some advice, not that he's looking for that from me. Don't bring up the 2004 Olympic team because people kind of forget. He's one of the greatest Team USA players ever. People forget. Not that it was his fault. And I don't want to compare it to this Lakers team because that 2004 team was thrown together with like days to spare before the Athens Olympics. They had mismatched parts. They had a lot of talent, but it didn't fit together. Kind of like this Lakers team. So let's not bring that up, Melo. Let's talk about a different comparison. And here's the thing. Obviously, the Lakers are going to have high expectations, but they are not the overwhelming favorite to win the title. They absolutely could win the title. It could happen, but they've got to do it, and they may prove it, Perk, before you throw your head back. They may prove it. We may be sitting here by Christmas and saying, boy, they're awesome, but they still have to prove it. They got like 12 or 13 new players. We've never seen a team with 12 new players come together and win. So if they prove it, we'll take our hats off to them, but that's what the 2004 Olympic team got upset by a team that played better, the Argentinians, and they were a great team. That wasn't much of an upset, in all honesty.
Yeah, but Brian, if we was talking about some youngsters, then I would have a problem with it. But we're talking about a group of veterans, and not only a group of veterans, we're talking about a group of veterans with a whole lot of championship experience, right? So it's not veterans that haven't been to the promised land. When you talk about LeBron James, you talk about Trevor Ariza, you talk about Dwight Howard, you talk about Rajon Rondo. So just those four guys alone, the championship experience that they bring along with AD already winning the championship, like we're talking about a team that's already knowing what to do, and that's sacrifice, right? So sacrifice is the huge point in this. It's not dealing with a whole bunch of youngsters that don't know or still have hidden agendas.
Yeah, I think we may have lost Perk there, but what I would add to you is this. I'm with B on this one, Perk. I got to be honest. That is not the comparison I want to make, even just like in passing, the 2004. And by the way, they did lose a game to Greece, too. Just let's not forget that aspect of the equation. It wasn't just Argentina. Sophocles Schwarzenaitis, who was a Greek Shaq at that time, is what they were calling him. Tore up the U.S. And let's be real, the real reason they lost in 2004 had nothing to do with Carmelo or Wade or LeBron or Carlos Boozer. And it was Richard Jefferson, as we saw there, right? That was the reason they lost there, is because Richard was on the team.
But George, Brian, listen, if Melo was on the team, and he's telling us exactly how he feels, or he's telling us, giving us an example, who are us to argue or debate with Melo, a guy that was actually sitting on or playing for that 2004 Olympics team?
Yeah, look, I just think that ultimately it's just not the comparison I would want to make. To Brian's point, he's been on a lot of teams that won on the Olympics. I get what he's saying, that if they lose, that it would feel like that time, right, when he was in 2004. I just don't even put it in the atmosphere if I were him. That's just me.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.